You are watching another video of Investing in Comic Books. I'm Terry Hoknes. Today we are going to look at Fantastic Four number 5 from 1962, the 5th issue published by Marvel Comics. This is one of the very first 1960s Silver Age Marvel superhero issues. Of course, it's the 5th issue, so it's the 5th appearance of the Fantastic Four team. It's also the first appearance of Doctor Doom and his origin. Jack Kirby did the cover and interior artwork. And it's actually the second most valuable issue of the entire run of Fantastic Four. Stan Lee, the writer. And we're going to look at a few reasons why or why not you should invest in this comic. There's always different reasons to pick a certain book. First of all, let's look at the Overstreet Price Guide values over the last few years. As of the 2012 Price Guide, at the top condition near mint 9.2 grade, jumped up a huge $2,000 to $16,000. If you look at just the last 5 or so years, this book has actually doubled in value, as many of the biggest key Silver Age books have done. A few years ago, there was a huge jump. Still, this book has been pretty consistent. Every year, you'll notice for the last 7 years straight, has been nice growth in high-grade copies. Let's jump down to low grade. If we look at copies that are 2.0, the book has seen so much growth in the high grades that, yes, even the low grades have had a nice move. And the book has gone up almost double over the last 7 years, which is not too bad for a book of that low grade. You'll notice, though, in the past year, the book has stalled. So if you're thinking of investing in this book in a grade of 4 or less, there's been resistance in the past year. This is probably not going to stay that way. The book will probably continue to move, again, as long as the high-grade copies move. You'll notice that, of course, the bigger the money, the more likely you're going to profit. So copies 6.0 or higher have all been consistently moving up. It's only the 4 and less that have stalled in the past year. But as I mentioned, over the past 7 years, the low grades have even almost doubled. And once you get to the 6.0 or higher, the book definitely has doubled. And of course, if you've got a copy that's graded 9.4 or better, you're of course going to bring above guide prices. And we'll talk about why that is in just a moment. Let's look at the best sales that Heritage Auctions has held for this book in the last 10 years. We'll see that their best sale yet has been over $16,000 for a CGC VF near mint 9.0. Now, based on the current guide price, which is $11,000, that copy sold for $16,730, and that was in 2008, at the time when the book was only worth $6,000. So, in other words, 4 years ago, this copy, one of the nicest copies that's gone up for sale, actually sold for 2.5 times guide. Also looking at the list, a sale from 2005, a VF 8.0 copy, also graded, sold for $3,700. At that time, that book was worth $2,900. So still $800 it sold above guide at that time. Not as impressive. But what we're looking for is to see if a book, when we're investing in it for long term, is it actually bringing consistent sales, and are we bringing above guide sales? And this book has definitely been doing that. And we know that to be a fact because the fact that it's been moving up so much every year shows that the only reason price guides move the value up in the first place is because the book is consistently selling for over guide. So this book in high grade is definitely proven to be an excellent investment. It's still pretty good in low grade as well. Let's look at the CGC Census for the book. The one I have here showed that in total 387 copies have been graded in all conditions without any restoration. However, look at the high grades. 6 copies have a 9.4. So there is absolutely no copies at the time of this census I pulled. 9.6 or higher, absolutely no copies in the world have been graded. So if you're looking for a book that's really going to do well, a 9.4 is the top condition copy based on this census I'm looking at. Therefore, a 9.4 is going to be the book that's going to make the biggest profit. If you can afford such a book, you could be looking at well, anything possible, actually. $50,000, I would see, is not unrealistic. Of course, a book like that with only 6 copies graded in the world at 9.4, it's going to be very rare that one of them even goes up for sale. So there you go. We've looked at a few things. So just as I mentioned, there are 0 copies graded 9.6 or better. And over the last decade, Heritage Auctions has sold around 100 copies. So that gives us some ideas of how rare the book is, what kind of copies are out there. We had some ideas of, does the book sell for guide, below guide, above guide? And we looked at some of the highest grade examples sold through Heritage, and we've decided that this book is thumbs up. This is a great key book to invest in. Remember that this is very early Marvel. In fact, it's July 1962. This book came out even before the first appearance of Spider-Man. This is a very early Marvel superhero book. At that time, there was no Marvel fandom for hero books, and so one of the earliest superhero books from Marvel. This book is over 50 years old. We know that there's very few high-grade copies out there. When they do pop up, it's driving the guide up every year. So this is a book I highly recommend. Fantastic Four, number 5, Marvel 1962. To learn more about this book or thousands of other classic books from the Golden, Silver, and Bronze Age, check out our website for our series of books called Investing in Comic Books, where we look at every book that you should invest in, and we give you lots of information like this to consider. Thanks for checking out this video, and if you would like to see a video for a specific book, please contact us at hawknes@hotmail.com, and we'll put together a video for you. And of course, we appreciate your support if you check out our books at our website, hawknescomics.com. This is Terry Hoknes. Thanks for watching.